Well, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon from wherever you are in the world. This is the Halligans and Half Wheels podcast brought to you by Box 1971, where we're changing the culture of the fire service one fireman at a time. Joined in beautiful Doral, I guess you could call it Miami, Florida, on a beautiful day in January. Matt, how are you?
Oh, I am ecstatic to be here.
We've had a couple good smokes. We've had a Cuban sandwich today. You had your first croqueta. How was that?
They need to be on every street corner in America, basically. The best finger food ever.
The pastelitos are amazing as
they
well.
are awesome.
The food here, the culture here in Miami, if you've never been, is absolutely amazing.
It's electric.
Second to none. We are in the Casa Humo Cigar Lounge over here in Doral. Enrique has been nice enough to allow us to come in. I'd like to sit down and talk with him for just a minute, if we could, about his shop here. He used to be over in Doral, or the other side of Doral, and now he's on this side of Doral. Got him a new shop here. Very, very nice cigar lounge. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast, Mr. Enrique Fermin. Enrique, how are you, sir?
Hi, how you doing? Very nice. Thank you for being here with us.
Well, thank you for having us. We didn't mean to barge in on you, but we're happy to sit here and have a smoke and enjoy the day. If you would, tell the folks about what you're doing here in Doral.
Here we opened up this store. We started 2 years ago, June 2020 to be exact. Small lounge, just a very small humidor for retail sales and a couple of bar lounger for our customers to sit down and smoke. And since pretty much all places around the area were closed because of COVID, we started growing up pretty fast. A lot of people started coming in, enjoying our cigar selection.
Yeah, we've met and I never knew it until today.
Yeah, you just told me about that.
Yeah,
and I don't recall about it. But
yeah, well, I have a face for radio. You can't forget it, for sure. But no, we met. My buddy Mario took us over there, and
yeah, sure. Okay, now I remember.
And we sat down and had a nice smoke. It was a very nice atmosphere, and I can see why it outgrew and why you have come over here to this side of town to build something truly amazing.
Yes, we saw the opportunity of a bigger place that opens up in the area, and it was the opportunity to move to a bigger location. It took us a little while to reopen, but I think the concept ends up pretty well as it is right now.
Sure.
As you're already aware, we are three guys from Venezuela.
Yeah.
Cigar enthusiasts. Been smoking for a while now. Since we got here 6 years ago, to the United States, we've been enjoying more and more cigars every day. Broader selection. Available everywhere, so we started looking for a place to smoke ourselves, and that's how we came up with the idea of opening up our own lounge, and that's what we did 2 years ago. And now we're here. As you can see, our concept is a place for our customers to relax, feel free to work here. A lot of our customers here comes here on a daily basis to work with their computers, and they make their conference calls, phone calls, and handle all their business from here.
Sure.
And enjoy the cigars and have a great coffee. And they're coming more and more every day.
Yeah.
We're thankful for that.
Sure.
And I wish, or we hope, to keep having you here in the near future. Feel free to come to our house.
Sure.
Whenever you're in the town, and choose this as your podcast based whenever you feel like it.
Well, we appreciate
make sure
that.
you be here.
For those that may follow on Instagram, it's Casa Humos, Humos.
Yes, that's it.
And that's as well as Facebook.
We do it on Facebook. It's
okay,
the same.
And then if you want to get on the website, it's CasaHumosCigars.com.
That's it.
And you're on 84th Street right here in Doral.
Yes, it's 5590 Northwest 84th Avenue.
Yep.
In Doral.
Plenty of parking.
Yes, plenty of parking. We're here every day, Monday through Saturday, starting noon. And officially we close down at 10 p.m., but that's not the case. We are here open way past that time.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, Mr. Enrique, we want to thank you very much for the hospitality and the ability to sit down here in your beautiful lounge.
Thank you.
We are a bunch of firemen spreading fireman stuff, and sometimes we talk about fire service, sometimes we talk about things that have nothing to do with the fire service, and then today we get to sit down and talk about cigars specifically because the name of the show is part of the name of the show is Half Wheels, and we love to smoke cigars, and that is the reason we landed on that, because we want to smoke cigars. We have a pitch in to our guest today to maybe become the official partner of the podcast. So hopefully we can talk to the man about that.
Well, before you introduce him, I can tell this cigar is great. Awesome cigar. We've been smoking it since we opened the store. He was the first guy to walk in with a briefcase with cigars.
Right. Well dressed, always well dressed.
Always well dressed. This guy must have been at the Mr. Universe some years ago. But yeah, great cigar. I'm not gonna tell who it is until you introduce him yourself. But you can find his cigar here in Casa Humo Cigars Lounge every day.
Every day.
Every day.
What are you smoking today?
Right now, I'm smoking one of his cigars. I don't know if you want me to tell the...
No. Just, is it a Connecticut Maduro?
Maduro right now.
Yeah, the Maduro.
Maduro.
That's the go-to. I always give him a hard time because he's like,
sir.
I know you like the red ones.
Yes, sir.
But the blue wrapper. So, well, thank you for sitting down with us.
Sure.
Thank you again for the hospitality, and God bless you for everything that you're doing.
Sure. Thank you for coming, and welcome every time.
Thank you, Mr. Enrique.
Okay.
Well, our guest this month has had quite a journey in life. From fleeing communism in Cuba to becoming a fashion icon in Miami to now becoming a cigar boss in Miami. He is a man of many talents, of many roads, many seas. I'm proud to call him a friend. Without further ado, our guest this month, Mr. Tony Pichs. How are you, sir?
How you doing, my friend? And definitely, yes, you're my friend. Since the first day we met in Cuban Crescent, I believe.
Yeah.
You was along, I remember. And I bring you to my group. I like to be hanging with a lot of people, and I always invite everybody to come to our group because this is a family, and that's how we come in like a family already. And I'm really happy to be your friend.
Yeah, I talk to you probably more than most people I see on a daily.
At least in a month we talk a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
you're in North Carolina, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
A lot of people follow you from social media, and it's amazing because the first time we met, we were just two people in a cigar shop, and you were stalking, and we sat down in those barber chairs that used to be at Cuban Crafters, and we smoked for hours and just talked about everything, and it was instantaneous. And that's when you introduced me to your cigar. Can you explain to people your cigar line?
Well, our cigar lines, I would like to tell you how it started, really. There was a really a strange way, or the best way probably.
Right.
Like a Cuban Crescent was always my house,
Right.
So we go over there in the afternoon and we get together with friends. That's something I do all the time. And we invited people to smoke over there. I don't have my line at that time. So like I bring it to you to my group and bring somebody else. At the end, come out very close friends. And we were smoking a cigar. There was no name or nothing, no label. And I say, well, this cigar is a Fuera de Serie. That means like outstanding, right? And one guy of the group, there was like maybe we was 5 people. He said, well, why we don't make it with that name, a cigar name brand? And I say, well, Fuera Serie is this expression, it's a Cuban expression that when we call something outstanding, we say, wow, this is Fuera Serie. That's how it come out. So in the group, they have one guy, he's a consulting, he's the doctor, you probably know, the doctor. Oh man,
Yep.
He was a consultant. He said, and so he went to his computer and he tried to register the brand. And believe it or not, Fuera Serie, there was in a lot of different kind of business, except they don't say Fuera Serie cigars. So when you're talking about, he picked that, and they approved that. So he said, I don't know if you want to do the cigar or not, but you already have it registered Fuera de Serie cigars. He said, are you kidding me? So now the part is like in the group, we have one guy who was a friend of ours, Francisco, Joselito, we call him. He's from Dominican Republic, that he really has a land and he has his own family in the business. He said, I'm going to make a cigar for a Serie cigar to see if you like it. So he make his own blend. And later, the next week, we have a friend of ours, he's my partner today, he's Cesar Gambino. he's a partner today in the business with me, that he started doing song in the computer song, like a labels.
Right.
So he put any label, So he put in a couple bundle cigars, and one day when we come in together the Thursday to smoke, like we do every Thursday, so he say, he come in with a bundle with a lot of cigar, like a bundle cigar, he say, with the Fuera Serie label. so he say, well, today we're going to smoke a Fuera Serie cigar. I mean, everything started like that. And it was funny. He said, come on, this is serious. So he said, okay, we like the cigar, actually. We really like the cigar. That was from Jose, from the factory from Dominican Republic. And it was a bundle cigar. It was a premium cigar. So I said, wow, you make this cigar so good. You probably make a great cigar, premium cigar. And at the end, he said, well, I had to go to Spain. I remember that he said, when you leave to Spain, I have my friends in Spain, the owner of La Casa de Tabaco. It's a lot of big shots over there in Spain
Right.
that I know. So I had to be there with them on vacation. So I took a lot of cigars from Fuera Serie samples,
Okay.
like that. So when I went to Spain, we had time to talk, right?
Right. We.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's
when
good.
I went to Spain, La Academia de Tabaco, that's like the Academy of the Cigars. They have one place, they call it like that. So when I open, I see like 60 people, 50 people. Say, wow, this is a party here because I'm on vacation. He said, no. All these people, they own a cigar lounge in Spain. They come to try your cigar. He said, are you kidding me? I really was a surprise for me because I don't even was ready. The cigar no was ready. Like I say, I like this or I need that or I want that. But everybody, I coming back with a feedback so good that what I was bringing back. So I say, I'm gonna do the cigar. Later after they try the cigar and they like it, we talking with Pepe Palacio. He's one of the guys who know and control in Spain all the Cuban cigars when they go to Spain. So he worked for La Casa de Tabaco with Zapata. So unbelievable. Everybody, we sit really close later and we're talking about the cigar and what they need and what they need. We should do this, we should do that. I come in with an open mind from for the dream that I have it for many years to have my own brand, right?
Yeah.
So when I come back, I tell him, this guy, man, this is serious. People like it, what we did, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, we take it serious and I start doing my blend with the factory in Dominican Republic. The Fuera Serie started in Dominican Republic. And I talked to George from Cuban Craster. I said, George, I tried to do this. And Manny, you remember Manny,
Yeah.
who was the manager
Yeah.
of the Cuban Craster. And George told me this, listen, you have the passion to do this, do it, and we're going to sell it here. If nobody take your cigar, we're going to sell it here. So that's how I really start to do this. And nothing, we make the cigar or we bring the different label. We make so many different labels. Cesar, my partner, is very talented. We did different labels to come out with this beautiful label we have now. Nothing, we started with, I remember the cigar was $7.50. Georgie told me, bring good cigar for good price. So I say, what about retail $7.50? He say, that's a great cigar. So that's how it started. 2 months later, when I bring the label, I see they say Fuera Serie Cigars by Peach. That's my last name. And I tell my friends, what the hell? I don't need, why they put Peach? He said, well, we all know, and we know how to smoke, and we know how everything, but except we don't know how to sell. You the salesman here. So at the end, they put me the cigar in my hand, and I take the responsibility for all the passion that all my friends has to take it serious, and I do this very serious now. We're going to make it 6 years. We are really a boutique cigar. I tell you a lot of stories how after that, a little more, we had time to talk about all the cigar. But the most important is to tell you the story why when I come from Cuba 41 years ago, and why I make my cigar in Dominican Republic, that's really had to do something with the cigar. Every cigar has a history.
Yeah.
Oh, this is mine. And when I come from Cuba, I remember I went to vacation to Dominican Republic, and I cried a little bit. The mountains, the same color, the sand, and everything, the soil. And so I say, one day I make a cigar. That was 41 years. I was 20 in that time. I say, if I make a cigar, I'm going to do it in Dominican Republic. I never think to make a cigar. That was only because I work in Cuba in the field when I was 18. So I really fall in love with cigars. I smoking since 18 years old.
Okay.
So nothing. I went to, like everything, I come to the United States from Cuba in 1980, and I decide, I do so many things, like everybody coming here. I cut grass, cleaning pools, painting house, whatever that you have to do. But I was happy because I was in the land of the dream that I want to really live.
Right.
And I do so many things. And I find out that in so many jobs that I did, I was good in something. I say, well, I'm good in sales. So I started working in the clothing business, and that's what I did for many years, almost 38 years working in the clothing business.
Is that why you're always so well dressed?
Oh, I love dress and teaching people how to dress and everything. Yes.
I mean, you are an aficionado when it comes to fashion.
Well, thank you very much.
I mean,
I don't feel like that way, but
I mean,
yeah.
I agree. I follow your fashion page you have on Facebook too, from watches, everything.
Yeah.
Always impeccably done.
As a matter of fact, we were at Havana Collection today, and Little Havana, and Fidel told us that he had purchased a watch that I guess that
Cuervo y Sobrino, yes.
I guess it's out of this world. Awesome.
Cuervo y Sobrino is a line they come from Cuba. Well, they started like in 1842. So really it's a very long company, a very long history. And now they bring it back again. From Switzerland, they bought the line. We actually dealer of Cuervo y Sobrino watches. It's a beautiful. They have to relate a lot with cigars. They call some of the name of the watches. They call Maduro. They call Historiador, Winston Churchill. Kind of like that. So it's really interesting to be involved in the clothing and cigar and the watches too.
So let's back up real quick. How did you, when you decided to leave Cuba, what happened? What forced you to? Before we answer that question, in full disclosure, we are in the lounge. The side door to the building is rolled up, so the natural noises of the lounge is what you're hearing. You're hearing some background music. You'll hear people talking, lighters, etc., etc. That's the way we wanted it. We wanted an authentic sound. We did not want to sit in a boardroom somewhere. We wanted to be able to talk about this. So for those that are listening, we are making no apologies. We're just letting you know what the deal was. So when you decided to flee Cuba, what made you leave? I mean, most people know why most people left, but what was the tipping point of the scale for you to get on a boat and come over to America?
The freedom, brother.
The freedom?
The speech and the freedom, the movement, to everything. I was born in 1960. When I born, my father, the first time saw me, he was in jail. In that time, Che Guevara, I don't know if you're familiar with that, he was killing hundreds of people a week. So really, my father was in jail. I was lucky that they don't kill him. But that's the first time my father saw me when I born in jail. So after that, in like 7-8 years ago, when I was 9 years old, my father left Cuba because of politics problem. Like everybody had to get out of Cuba. So I stayed in Cuba with my mom. They was divorced already. And I lived all the communist part of the Russia, where the Russia was in Cuba. So it was more control. It really was definitely, you cannot even move when I was a Russian there. Cuba has a lot of different process. It's very difficult to explain how it is. And it's, even for the Cuban people, the new generation to now, they don't understand what's going on because it's difficult. Everybody lives his own problem. Everybody has his own history. You can make a book. Everybody Cuban make a book for them because. And I left because that's it. Freedom is the most important. I like to be free to speak and talk and create and grow. I mean, this is the country that give me the opportunity to. The first 3 years that I have here, I have my own house already in 3 years only. In Cuba, I never had that opportunity.
Right.
So this is the opportunity this is the land of opportunity. Even people that don't think this is the country is hard, but as long as you understand it and you involved in everything, and I feel very American now. I mean, I'm Cuban, but I feel more American than anything, and I defend this country like crazy because I love it. I mean, give me all the opportunity that what I have now.
I will tell you, I think that's maybe why I love the Cuban culture so much, is because they are fiercely passionate about America.
Uh-huh.
And you see that here. The last time we saw each other, there was protests going on here. And I happened to go to Versailles and eat lunch, and they were protesting, and it was neat to see people expressing themselves that had never had the ability to do so. You know what I mean?
We never forgot the people in the back, and we try to pass it what we pass to the kids to teaching how common it is. Common is a cancer. So all having my daughter, my kids, my grandkids, and I teaching, and I like the same, like the Jewish teaching the kids what's going on in the back. We cannot forget that. History is like that right there. Most of the time we forgot. The new generation now, I see Sometimes they don't even care about what's going on, even in the same country that we live in now. When I come from Cuba to now, my friend, I'm really very sad what's going on in the United States, really. I mean, I'm thinking the liberal is going to take over all this shit if we don't really open the eyes and figure it out what's going on with this.
Well,
I don't know if people listen to me now.
no.
But I'm telling you, this is it. And I live in the bad part, and I live the good part. So I can tell you, if we don't really take care of this country, we're going to be in the toilet.
yeah. Well, it's just a voting cycle away, is how I feel. So you spent your time coming to America on a boat. Talk me through that journey.
Well, when they opened the Mariel, that's in the 1980. My father lived here already. My father was a very successful person. He still is very successful in the real estate business. So when he opened the Mariel, he bought a boat and went to pick me up. That's how I come in.
Yeah, and didn't you spend some time on the boat without a motor or something and adrift? Wasn't that part of the story?
No. I know in the boat that we come in, they left off about 2-3 in the morning.
Okay.
That's how they do. And I see a lot of boats in the back with a lot of problem, and we cannot rescue everybody. And that's a big problem.
That's what
I don't
it
know
was.
how many people really make it in that time. I come in September 8th. That was a very bad. The water in that time is really bad in the Caribbean.
Wow.
A lot of people die in this, my friend.
So you get to America and you just do anything to pay the bills. You gotta feed yourself.
I do anything. But, I mean, my father had money, but I don't really depend on him. I just come in here, I give you thank you to bring me, and I do my own. I never asked for money to my father. I did what I had to do at 20 years old. I can't do anything. In that time, America was beautiful. You pay double time. So I remember working the printing for 3 years straight, 12 hours. 3 years. That's what I tell you. In 3 years, I bought my house. So I work a lot, you know.
And a lot of people can probably relate to that now, especially the generation that's between me and you. That work ethic, I think it's maybe fallen off here.
Oh, it has definitely fell to the wayside.
It is terrible. I'm looking at these watches, Tony. I'm sitting here on the internet. They've got a Hemingway that's got 2 watches and a humidor.
I got one now that's they call double time.
That's beautiful. Look at
this
that.
watch is
that alligator?
this alligator man. Yeah. These watches they make it in 1942. So
Okay.
they try to bring back the same model and stuff like that. Almost.
Yeah.
But the machine is different. But yeah.
Is that the Vitola?
No, this is called double time. These are 2 watches in one.
Double time. All right, I'm just happened to look. Oh, I see it. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. All right. It's an Iconico is what it's
Yep.
called. All right. Very good. So you've got what? You've got 3 different blends of cigars, correct? You've got a Habano.
Maduro and Connecticut.
Yeah. And what's the best seller?
I can tell you something. I believe it or not, it looks like maybe arrogant, but my 3 cigars they sell very good.
Yeah.
I don't have problem because I can tell you in my inventory I always sell everything even and finish even.
Right.
It's really I don't have that, but yes, there's a lot of people that like more this or that or whatever.
Right.
But in general, in my inventory, when I sell the 3 at the same time, no problem. I don't have a problem. I
Not
never
one
have
over the
more
other.
than one than the other one.
Right. I know one thing you can't keep in stock, and that's the dadgum mini.
The mini smoke. The mini smoke turned to be my partner. One day he say, you know what? Why we don't do a cigar to be in the patio? Sometimes when you're in the patio smoking, your wife calling, hey, the food is ready, stuff like that.
Right.
And I said, shit, I had to leave all these cigars, now and come back. I don't like it. So he created that mini smoke in Dominican Republic. I tell him the truth. The mini smoke, I never have enough.
No.
That cigar we sell for $7.50. I mean, everything they're going up a little bit now.
Right.
But I still keeping the price for $7.50. And that mini smoke is like I got so many people related with the mini smoke. The motorcycle, they buy a lot of mini smoke because they're going in the motorcycle, so they stop, have a beer, and it's 40-minute smoke, 45-minute smoke, depending how fast you smoke. And it's like the short story cigar. I mean, the same size.
Right.
And only the price. And they make in Dominican Republic, like a Fuente, the same thing. I mean, it's a great cigar.
It is. It's my daily smoke. It's my go-to, and that's. I like to smoke it on the podcast. I always. I think if you go back and listen to them, 9 times out of 10, I'm smoking one of your cigars.
The funny thing with the mini smoke, when we get together with friends, so like 20 people, 30 people smoking with us at night. When everybody I know when everybody want to live. So at the end, they smoke any kind of cigar, and when they buy the mini, that means that's the last one. So that's a good hint, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, firemen absolutely love them. I think I go through 5 bricks a year of the mini, and I constantly have people asking me for them. So I have been upping my personal stock to maybe not advertise for you, but try to help people, and direct them to Cuban crafters who, if you buy online over $100, they ship it to you for free, and you never have to set foot in the store. They do a pretty good job down there, and they've got pretty much everything you need if you want to become a cigar smoker. This is a very social activity. I think that's why we settled on it for this podcast, was that we all have the common bond of cigars. We all love to get together and have a cigar, and 3, maybe 4 sometimes.
How do you like the mini smoke to drink? What you drink?
I typically
What you prefer to drink?
Well, I'll bounce back and forth between a rum and a good whiskey. I will bounce back and forth between both. I recently discovered last year, thanks to you, a port wine. And I enjoy that as well. It pairs up very nicely. But I'm not much of a wine guy. But I notice you're drinking a red wine. What are you drinking?
I like red wine with Connecticut. I like wine with Connecticut, my Connecticut.
Okay.
I don't smoke Connecticut. I only smoke my Connecticut.
Okay.
Because when I started the business, I remember I made my Maduro and Habano, and everybody, when I made the event, everybody told me, oh, this is it here. You want to see it?
Yeah.
This is the Connecticut. The only Connecticut I smoke is mine. I don't like any other Connecticut, and because I'm going to tell you why I have my Connecticut that I like it.
Okay.
So when I started the business, everybody told me, "Hey, you have a Habano and Maduro. You need a Connecticut." That's how the business is. He said, "I don't like Connecticut. I don't want to make it." So he said, "You have to make it anyway." So when I made the first event in Cuban Craster, I see that a lot of people ask me for Connecticut. I never have it. I was really aggressive to make an event only 4 months, 5 months when I had my cigar, and I bring in Cuban Craster almost 100 people. And Georgie told me, "How you bring so many people?" He said, "Well, that's the reason I have relation in the clothing business, so I bring everybody."
Your personality is electric. I think
I got a lot of friends. I think I have a lot of friends.
Yeah,
yes.
people are drawn to you.
They support me. Yeah, that was very good.
I've got a confession to make to you. So I have been a customer of Cuban Crafters for almost 6 years. And anytime I buy a box of cigars, if I don't enjoy it, I throw the box away. So I was going through, being in North Carolina, we have cigarette tobacco that grows. And my favorite smell in the world is actually cured tobacco. And they do it at the state fair still the old-fashioned way with a flue. And they hang it up in the barn, and it's bright leaf tobacco. It's yellow. And it smells, to me, just so beautiful. And so for the last, I think we lived in Oxford now almost 9 years. Every year I have gotten a bundle of of tobacco from the state fair. And I keep it in a drawer underneath all of my cigars. It's a big, and when you walk in, it's a big, style dresser in a foyer. I mean, it's beautiful, big marble top. But I was going through that the other day because I had to clean out. And in the bottom was my first ever box of the Habano. And I had purchased it, and I had the receipt and everything in there 2 years before I ever met you. I loved your Habano cigar. And when we sat down and talked that day, I was kind of starstruck because you don't get to sit down with many people that say, "Hey, try my smoke, try my cigar." And they walk you in and they tell you the story like you told me. And it was like hook, line, and sinker because you sold me without ever selling me. And that is one thing. I mean, like when I got Matt hooked on him, now he's, I got a high of him. I got a high of him.
Habano, man?
Yeah.
I think you buy only the Habano because it was red label, and I know your truck and all that, the red. He buy only by the color.
Well,
only because, I think you don't buy it because you like it. You buy it because of the color of the cigar.
No, I'm a big Maduro fan, and I do love your Maduro. I think it's, you and I were talking about our spouses.
I'm Maduro guy too. I love my Maduro. So
the aftertaste. My wife has said you don't taste ashy. Your cigars, I don't know what it is, and I don't want to know. But whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it is. I had one today, and my food didn't taste different at lunch.
Nah.
It is so smooth, and it changes as you go through the cigar. The palate changes and the flavor changes. It's nutty and it's a little spicy, and it's a beautiful cigar.
One of the concerns when I started like this, my wife, she don't smoke, so she told me, you're going to smell like, in your mouth, you're going to smell bad. And I was very concerned that when I was doing my cigar, because I hated that too. I hate that when you're talking with people and you smell, the bad breath about cigars. So I was a lot of picky, a lot of things that I really insist in my cigar. One is that, the other was the good draw of the cigar. And the changes of the cigar. I mean, I don't like that cigar like it's flat. Like when you start in the beginning, it's the same thing. So for me, it's boring, really boring.
Right.
So I like those 3/3 the cigar, enjoying a lot.
Yeah.
And I think I was lucky with the right people, hanging with the right people. The people, maybe like you say, maybe they love me, and they do it. I did a very good the cigar. I'm the only guy started business with very little money.
Right.
I got people that are very professional. They know a lot more about than me and the cigar. I don't think I know a lot about cigars, but there are a lot of people that've been years and they don't even make it. I have a lot of accounts. I do support the business. When you see the get together, what I do, the whole idea to get together is bring people to the small business, the new like a Casa Humo. I bring people like that. So the idea is the people that know the place that they don't know it for. They know the service, the beautiful lounge, and after that, the smoking. I have a rules. It's not only smoking my cigar. That I wanted to smoke any cigar, and obviously they're going to smoke mine because they like my cigar.
Right.
But the idea is to help the accounts. That's what I really been doing it for 6 years. More, I have passion for cigars, so I don't mind to smoke it here or in Casa Humo or in Yaxel or in different places. The idea is I'm gonna smoke. If people follow me, I bring people to the place.
I will tell you, Matt, you never want to ride with Tony anywhere.
Well, you bring in my
Why's
get
that?
together, so you know that.
He's got a little sports car, 4-door sports car. He drives about as fast as he talks. And he says, today you're going with me. We went to 4 different cigars stores, shops, lounges, whatever you want to call them. We had 4 cigars.
Yeah.
By supper time, my fat ass was wore out. And I was sitting in the back seat of the car, and everywhere we went, you'd open up the trunk, and we'd carry in armfuls of cigars.
Yeah.
And people just, it's crazy. Like I take an inventory. There's a cigar shop in Fayetteville called Onstead's. And I walked in there and I was like, "Oh, you don't have any FDS cigars?" And they're like, "FDS." So I pulled one out and I gave it to the manager. I said, "Tell me that you don't like this by the time I'm done smoking this 70 gauge." And he comes up to me. He's like, "Where did you get this?" And I said, my guy's got him. Like this is his company. This is him, And
I appreciate it.
the people, it's a unique logo, but 2, it's a really good smoke. And that's not just me saying that. That's people that are, man, that's, you gave me a $7 stick. Thank you. And how can I repay you? Go buy us cigars. I mean, it's amazing that this business brings people together, because I've met people with you that are pilots that are from Portugal or Spain, and guys that are international that still call me and reach out, and all because of you.
Thank you very much.
And it's a fun story.
I want to make it clear, that I'm already retired. So I'm over of the clothing business, what I worked before.
Right.
After in the pandemic, I've seen, and I tell my wife I don't want to really work no more. And the thing is that you always go back to what you like it. So now I'm working in the clothing store. It is very close to my house. He's my good friend. A lot of people call me to work with them in the clothing business. I don't want to do it. So in this guy, I tell him, no, man, I'm in the cigar business now. He told me, oh, I have a license for cigars. So I say, wow, this is great. So I do
Best of both
what I
worlds.
like. I do clothing, cigar, watches. I do everything.
Yeah.
And it's close to my house, only 5-10 minutes. So I'm really having the best of my life now, that I am doing what I enjoy. And I don't go travel like, New York, all that stuff. I don't travel. I don't think I'm going to do it. I got enough accounts so far now for what I do. And most of the people, you see the people smoking my cigar in Canada and Mexico and all that stuff, but they're buying online. So everybody need a FDF cigar, so they have to go asking for the online and through you,
Yeah.
And they have to buy from there. I don't really want to go travel, because that's not what the whole idea.
No.
I'm not a rep, so I don't want to do that. I'm doing this for a lot of fun, a lot of passion. I wanted people to smoke good cigar and be together with me. That's what I wanted.
I mean, and it is amazing to. Do you have any events this week?
No.
Okay.
But you're gonna be busy with me. Trust me. We're gonna be in a lot of different places because, yeah.
I like the sound of that. So, how did you get started in the fashion business? Because that's not just an industry you wake up and get into.
One of
is
the
it?
first jobs that I have was in the clothing business. So I don't even speak English in that time. But in Miami, sometimes you don't need too much English when I started. So, but I learned to say suits and pants and slacks, all that stuff. I learned that part. Only that, for sales. So when I was in the printing company that I was making, I started with $4.50 in that time. There was a maximum to pay, the salary. And I left in 3 years, I left the printing company making like $20, $25 an hour.
That's good money.
Yeah, I grew up very fast in the, whatever you tell me to do, I do. I try to do the best. My mother say, if you clean the floor, you better be the best cleaning the floor. So I did that with the printing. I moved it from the boundary to the folder for the cutting. Later went to the printing, from the machines where they printing the magazines and all that. And I learned a lot of that. So one guy that he know me said, you're a great salesman. I have a guy who has a clothing store, a Jewish guy, that he needs somebody now to work. He said, well, I'm going to see the guy. When I went to see the guy, I don't even speak English too much in that time either. But I know about clothing a little bit. And the guy put me to work a couple of days. And later he told me, leave your job and come back. I said, well, I have my daughter, just going to born. And I'm making so much money. I know you cannot pay me that, but for less money, I went to work in the clothing business. So when I started in the clothing business, at the 6 months later, I was the manager of the store already, and the clothing with the guy, and later started learning to buying clothing, and he led me little by little to buying and introducing that. And one day he told me, I wanted you to buy clothing, and he said, how much money I have? He said, I'll give you $30,000 to buy clothing. And I was very nervous, I went out, I bought and in months, I was so nervous, it not was my money, that in a month I saw everything that I bought. So the guy would say, from now on, you buy everything. And later, I trained to be a 1% of the business, and with the years.
Right.
I learned English, and I never went to school, so I learned English in the street with him. They told me, you don't say like this, say like that. That's how they helped me a lot. There was a Jewish guy, they called Shelley Bloom, Fashion Clothiers in Windward. They said their business was a family business, for about 58 years open. So it's a great opportunity to have to be who I want to be.
Right.
The freedom to be working with somebody when I'm the boss, and I do whatever they listen to me, what I think. That's beauty to work like that.
Right.
So I never have a boss. I always be a boss. My mom, I have a problem when I was a kid. My mom, she told me, you have a problem in life. He said, which one? He said, you don't want people tell you what you have to do. So if you don't want, you have that problem, you better be the boss. He said, well, what's wrong to be a boss? So I always be the boss in everything I do. Because I have a lot of ideas, and I always give it with my heart what I'm thinking. I say what I have to say, and people listen. They take it good or bad. That's another problem. I be very successful in the clothing business. I make good money. I live all my life from that, and I love it. I like sales. I think it can be a salesman with my father. My father has a real estate business, but I don't want to do real estate.
Right.
So my father sent me to go to take the license. I went to school, I passed, and I tell him my father, no, I don't pass it. I don't even know in that time was a public record.
Okay.
So he said, no, I know you passed. I lied to him. And he wanted to work with him because he said, with all the brothers, you're the best salesman that I have. And my father was. I think I'm more like my father probably.
But you're not a high pressure salesman.
No, I make it very natural. Everything.
It's a conversation. I was told today at the Havana collection that you were working with that gentleman with cigars and everything else, and that's the place to go if you want a suit. I've heard that is the place to go.
It's a great price. The success of that business is a service. It's a family business. Pedro, I know for so many years now, the sons, they take care of the business. I teach him what I learned, to the new generation. They listen, that's good. And I don't feel pressure working. For me, it's like my house.
Right.
That's really good.
That's a way to live, though.
That's the best way to live.
I mean, just like today, you had an appointment, and then you came here, and we're smoking cigars, we're hanging out.
I go to hang with you all day, all night, whatever you want, I do, because I'm like that. I'm my wife, I'm married with somebody who give me a lot of space in that time. She knows how I work, and that's good. You don't have to worry about
a balance.
It was very good. You don't want to have. At 63, I'm going to be now, brother. I don't need to be.
I wished I look as good as you at 63 as I do at 42. Yeah. You got a full head of hair. I do not.
Yeah, I'd kill for the full.
I tell you how it's turned to be with a cigar too, because a lot of people they know that I'm a writer. So when I was in the clothing business, I start writing, and I say one day I want to bring all the artists, the painters and writers together. I try to do something like that. Crazy for me, and I did a great event in Miami. They are coming very successful. Everybody coming in the news and everything, and I make it together about a lot of different artists together in one gallery in Miami, trying to be in the radio, in the newspaper, everything. And after I did that, they take me a year of that project. They told me in the news, they said, well, what are you going to do now? What kind of book you going to write? I have 4 books writing anyway, published already. So I say, no, I don't want to do no more books. I don't want to do nothing else. So I say, what are you going to do? My wife say, you cannot keep it busy. I mean, you have to keep it busy. What are you going to do? I say, I'm going to be in the cigar business. That's how I turned like that.
Well, you're also a poet.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
have 4
like
books.
Yeah, when people think books, though, they think
Novels.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
for him, it's got to be a coloring
yeah.
book.
Okay, I'm sorry. I do.
Crowns
I
included.
do poetry and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's where can people find you on social media? You're on Facebook,
In Instagram.
okay, and
Instagram is easy, really, right?
I mean, I don't do much social media anymore, Tony. I'm more like I'd rather, if I had a picture, I'd rather send it to you and share
it's
that
better.
moment.
But I put your pictures on the Facebook
Yeah,
and all that place.
you always do. You always do. You'll the West
Most of the
Virgi-
pictures that you see in my profiles and in the Facebook, Instagram is a picture that all the people smoking my cigar send it to me. So it's not really like I'm doing it. I take
I've
pictures
seen
and put
several
it.
of ours on your Facebook.
You send me a picture and I put it and
Yeah.
post it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
there's your page that is your friend page, and then you've got the Tony Pichs fan club, and then you've got Tony Pichs fashion.
the fashion, yeah.
Yeah.
The fashion is open. I can do a lot of things. I put poetry. I put,
Yeah.
I do
And there's a lot of cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, we just went, like I said, we went and Matt wanted to get some clothes, and I have a tradition. Every time I'm in Miami, I get a new shirt. Fidel always takes care of us over there at Havana Collection, and Matt went in with probably no ideation of buying anything. He walks out with 2 shirts and a fresh pair of linen pants, and he's looking pretty dapper about it.
He moved to Miami. I changed him. He's gonna look like Italian.
I think a year I'd fit in well. I would have a little bit of Spanish down. Just it'd probably mostly be curse words, but we'd be there.
We can cuss pretty good.
Yeah, it'd be curse words and how to order food. That'd be the majority of it.
Well, that's the one thing, and I tried to express upon you that you'd never been here, and we were talking about how this whole cigar business plays out, and how when Matt called and he was like, "Hey man, had a rough year. Let's go to Miami." That was literally the conversation, and I texted you and said, "Hey, we're coming to town."
I'm glad he's here because I see his pictures.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot about it because I'm not going to lie. I was absolutely plastered that night I called him. I was at a concert, and I was just like, you know what? It's cold here. I want to go somewhere warm and smoke some cigars. And because you don't have this atmosphere back home. And if so,
This is
you
beautiful
do.
anyway. Miami's
Yeah,
not like that.
yeah.
It's hotter than this all the time, but it's come out beautiful. When
Oh, this is
the
great.
weather is
Perfect.
great. I
It'd stay
wish,
like this
I wish it
year-round
can be
home.
like that all the time.
Oh, you would. This place would be overrun with people.
Oh, yeah.
It would be overrun. If it weren't for the damn hurricanes and the traffic, I could probably live here.
Yeah.
But I love coming.
Talking about my cigar, like you asked me because we cut that apart.
Yeah.
I know we here talking like in the living room in the house, right?
Yeah.
So
Kitchen table.
I have a in Dominican Republic I started, and I'm going to tell you how I turned to be in Nicaragua too. I had 2 factories. I got factory in Nicaragua and I have factory in Dominican. The thing is, when I was doing a cigar, everybody in the business started, oh, I can make a cigar for you in Nicaragua. I want to do a cigar for you in Nicaragua. I mean, kind of like that. I say, no, I don't want to do no cigar in Nicaragua. So the only way I can do a cigar in Nicaragua is the guy who wanted to make my cigar. He's the guy that do the entuars. Remember the entuar? The
Yes.
Cuban class sell?
Yes.
There's a Berger and Genti cigar. That's with the leaf outside.
Yep.
So I was coincident. I was sitting in the in Cuban Classic one day, and I'm talking with the guy, and I tell him the story that how I would like to be in Nicaragua, and the guy said, "I'm the guy who made the cigar." So really got put in front of me. He said, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna make a cigar." That's the reason only way that I did a cigar in Nicaragua, because the guy that I picked to make my cigar in Nicaragua, I love the cigar. So for me, it's one of the best cigars that I like it. I
Right.
mean, my favorite. But remember, the best cigar is what you like it. So it's not like but I love that cigar. And I say, okay, we're going to start it. So that's how I jumped to Nicaragua.
Let me ask you something. What is the nicest way when somebody gives you a smoke that they absolutely love? Okay? and they hand it to you, and it's terrible. I mean, it's just a terrible cigar. How do you politely? How do you handle that situation?
But I have a big problem, brother. I tell you right away, I don't like it. You're never gonna see me smoke a cigar that I don't like it. When I don't like it, I leave it there and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the Cuban in me.
Well,
It's not for me.
I'm straight in that part, and I think people appreciate it that you tell them. And listen, I'm smoking now a Plasencia cigar that I think is a great cigar. And the oldest cigar they have, I'm falling in love with the 149 that I recommend to everybody. And I tell them the guy who works in Plasencia, I say, listen, for me, this is the best cigar. I'm straight like that. No mean the other cigar not good,
Right.
but I tell them which one that I think is the best. And I prefer be honest with everything. I think that's the reason I have a lot of friends.
Right.
I'm not a double face for nothing. I tell you what it is. And if I like you, I like you. If I don't like you, I don't have to be with you. I mean, that's the way it is. That's the way American is. Freedom, and you do whatever you want.
That's right. Do you?
Yeah,
That's-
be yourself. That's what I tell them. My daughter, I teach it the same way. Be yourself, and even that's what you believe in. Go ahead.
How old is she?
36.
What does she do?
She works in the furniture business.
Okay.
I have two beautiful grandkids. I love them. Very smart and turned very smart. I wish I can be smarter than them. I mean, like them. But anyway, I'm a street guy. You know, I grew up in Cuba and inventing everything. You have to survive. So I'm a survivor, really, if you want to put it that way, who I am.
When you say survive, I understand because I have friends that have had to go back and see family in Cuba. Explain to people what that means when you say you had to survive.
Survive meaning is you can live without eating 2-3 days, and whatever you find in the middle, you go a friend's house and they have a two fried eggs, and they tell you, hey, have the half or whatever. You know, that's how it is. I make it like that. I wasn't good in a sport, so sometimes I bet them to eat. I say, okay, I give you in the squash. I know I play I don't know, you know what a squash is?
Yeah.
Like a high ally,
Yeah.
but okay, like that. I was good in that, so I bet in for food. I say, you know, if I win, you pay me the mata, or you pay me for the pizza. I mean, I was like that. My mother was 5. We were 5 kids, so she don't really can make it too much with us. She waited some time to whatever we eat, and whatever people left, that's what my mom eat. So I mean, that was Cuban for us. And I understand no was the situation to a lot of people. I mean, maybe you with the government, you find foods. I'm living in that part very bad. For me, the Cuban was a bad experience, and it was the best thing that happened to me in my life because I learned to be who I am. I be a very good friend. I have a lot of friends, and I met a lot of people. Be a real man, never say nothing. You know, I mean, I come out with a lot of principle things, you know, that you're missing here. I see a lot of people here about money and a lot of this. I'm not like that. I mean, I never show off, but I have. I'm not a show off guy. I mean, I'm dressed like that. You see me because that's me. But it's not because I want to show you that I'm better than anybody.
Yeah,
you have to be who you are. I never forget where I come from. Even I'm living super nice now. I don't show off that, and people love me because I hanging in people. I don't care who you are, and I help everybody too. I mean, I see people that need this, and I go and help it, and they say they can make a business. I come and make a contact with somebody else.
Right.
That's who I am. I'm very like that. I'm simple.
Matt, I think we need to go buy a suit tomorrow.
No.
I'm tempted because
I'm tempted. I mean,
For $199, you can find food in MDO. I'm working in MDO now. They call Men's Design Outlet. I think you bought cigar from him one time, right?
I have, yeah.
They do.
No, the hardest thing for me is like when somebody gives you something and you're just like, ugh, you know. The one thing that I was taught when I started smoking, an old guy told me, you never tell anybody how to smoke their cigar, and always be polite. And for me, I struggle with being polite because I'm very direct.
Yeah, you should be like that.
Yeah.
Oh, because you know what? If you don't say that, they're going to ask him. I mean, they can fix it. If you can tell them about what you think about the cigar,
right,
they can fix it. The whole idea is make it better, or try to make it the right way, or for everybody, you know. So if you be honest, at least you need. I like the people honest with me because
right,
if they tell you, Tony, I don't like this. I'm lucky that everybody like my cigar. I never have a picture they send me back and say, look at your cigar, it's coming this way or that way. I never had that problem, but it can happen. Because cigar is a handmade, you know, it can happen.
It's a piece of art.
It's an art, the humidity, where you put it. I mean, it's a lot of things in the cigar. So I don't think any cigar is bad except the blend, maybe you don't like it, what they did. I'm trying to make the cigar the closest I can make it in Cuba, and that's the reason I use Dominican Republic. If you make a cigar from Dominican Republic, you find, like the Habano, do you like it?
Yeah.
They have Criollo 98, that's a Cuban seeds. So it's really, I try to make the Cuban cigar the closest to the Cuban cigar in Dominican Republic. Nicaragua is a beauty thing. The Nicaragua, you can have the blend that you dream.
Right.
Because they have a jalapa, condega, it's a lot of different areas. Like I using my Maduro from Nicaragua that I love. They have Ometepe. That's the Plasencia control most of the Ometepe area. That's close to the volcano, so it's a lot of mineral for the cigar. And I'm falling in love with the San Andres wrapper. That's a Mexican that for me is the best wrapper that I love.
Right.
So I use it all the time in my Maduro San Andres wrapper. For me, that's the best.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah, and the Connecticut that I told you about, that I don't smoke Connecticut. I smoke my Connecticut from Nicaragua. I change the Connecticut. I make it. I say, you know what? If I'm gonna smoke Connecticut, I have to make something that I like it for me. Even it's not in regular Connecticut. Everybody have a mild cigar, like everybody started with the Connecticut.
Right.
I make it mild after they start the second, third, they're already coming a little stronger. That's what I do different in my Connecticut cigar.
Yeah, it is. All three are equally.
Yeah.
Just depends on what you're in the mood for. They are all equally comparable cigars. It just depends on your mood, really.
But I recommend that people smoke a lot of cigars. So like that, they find out which one the bell, I don't know, you say pallets,
Palate.
that you figure it out exactly what you like it.
Right.
So you're gonna find in different company. Even AJ Fernandez have a lot of cigar. He just make a one Acheuma, they call Heritage. I love it. He make Acheuma by AJ Fernandez. I think that cigar is one of my favorite this year that I smoke.
Isn't that what we just got today?
It's a blue label. I love it.
No, we got a green label, Fernandez, I think.
All right. But JJ make a great cigar. I started smoking his New World. I think it's the box press New World. That was my favorite in the beginning. Now I tried that he make it for Acheuma, and I think it's a great cigar.
And you're coming out with a box press, right?
I come in box press a limited edition. I do one Vitola and new cigar every year, different. So
Okay.
I make a limited edition. This year that I made the box press was a size 5 by 52, I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
They didn't last long.
No, that one, the rule was that everybody had to buy the whole box. They cannot sell separate. So the people pay $150 for the box for 10 cigars. And that's it, sold out. The mayor order was from Chile. I sell in Chile and Venezuela my cigars. So I send about 100 boxes to Chile.
Have you seen Max?
Max is being almost close to leaving the United States. I hope so.
Oh, really?
I tell you on the truth, yeah.
Oh, that's
He's
awesome.
been traveling a lot.
I like that guy. He's great. He's good stuff. You don't keep bad people around, though.
Max was my partner in Chile.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when you're like, you see these cigars, they're going to be smoked in Chile. I was like, really? That's pretty cool. Yeah, very cool.
Max traveled all the world with my cigars, so.
Yeah. When we sit and talk about, there's a fireman right there. You can tell by the mustache. When you talk about what you did growing up, you worked in the tobacco fields of Cuba. What
No, I don't work all the time. I was a student.
Okay.
And later, when I was age 18, the Army called me.
Okay.
I mean, it's obligated. You have to go.
Right.
And they give me a training for 6 months to go to the Ethiopia war. Ethiopia, with the Angola, you remember all those places?
Yep.
So they put me in an academy for 6 months, so they trained me to go to the war, and I decided to escape, and they never see me no more. So, I mean, it's a long story to tell you how I did it. So, yes, in Cuba, when they say the education is free, but it's not really free. They send you to the farm to work.
Okay.
Certain, like 45 days, stuff like that.
Okay.
So you work over there for free. That's how it is. So they send me to the tobacco field. So that's what I learned about the tobacco. I love it.
So when in the tobacco factories, they used to have a lectern at the front, and someone would read a book.
No, I was in the farm, really.
No, not
I'm
not
picking
you.
all the leaf and all that.
Yeah. I'm talking about like when they're actually rolling, when the people are in the factory rolling. So they're rolling cigars, and there's somebody up front reading a book, right? Is that how that used to work?
Well, that's the way Jose Marti did it in Tampa a long time ago. When Jose Marti, you know who is?
Yeah.
He was in Tampa. There's a lot of factory cigars, so most of these guys, they don't know how to read and stuff. So they read the news and everything. So like that, they entertain. It's like you put the radio. In that time, you read it.
That's cool.
So Jose Marti coming with that idea to do that, he was the best poetry probably and writer in the world today, and the whole for many years and generations. Jose Marti, they studied in the university anyway. So this guy did that, and he collected money for the war for the Mambisa, in game to Spain in that time.
That's
So this is
incredible.
traditional, yeah, it's traditional.
Yeah, traditional. Yeah. That's cool. So what's next for you? What's on your radar next?
Get old.
Get old. Smoke a cigar.
Smoking cigar forever, man. Yes, I don't have a. I'm believe it or not, you asked me that question, and I thinking like telling my wife, you know what, I did what I really want to do already with the cigar, and it's everything, and I want to sometimes get out, but when I see people send me pictures for all over smoking my cigar, give me the hints. I mean the strength again to continue. But sometimes, yes, sometimes I don't mind since I'm finished. You know, it's like that. But I say, well, I'm going to leave all these people down when they love my cigar. So the cigar going to be as long everybody's still smoking and I still have the money to run it. I don't live from the cigar. I don't make money with the cigar. I mean, I make money.
Yeah, it keeps it afloat.
To make money, keep it moving. I don't live from the cigar. I live from clothing business. I have other business. I got properties. I mean, I don't make a living with the cigar. For me, it's a passion only. That's what I always put in. It is all about passion.
Yep.
Maybe people don't understand what I'm saying, but every time I make I put a post or whatever, I say everything is about passion. And for me, it's this: to be with friends, hanging out, and smoking. And I think it's very serious to give people smoking good cigar. And I take it very serious. This it's not like having fun like that only. Take it very serious. For me, it had to be a right way. The right way to good cigar, and people love it, and smoking good cigar, and value is worth. Yeah. And that's what I do. I don't know when I'm going to end it or no, because I can't say one day, that's it, it's over. That's it, I'm not finished.
Well, then I'll be sad.
But I love cigars.
You're not the only
I
one.
love cigars, so I think it is going to be a little longer, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, people are going to be really sad if you don't have this continue, because it is, I don't think people realize how, if they've never smoked one, take a chance. You know, Columbus did, and it worked out okay for him. But if you were to get yourself a smoke, I mean, take the chance, because personally, I can attest to it. It's my daily smoke if I'm smoking every day.
We tried to open with Santo, that you was here now, opening a website so he can sell a lot of different cigars, including mine. And I'm going to be probably when he start opening everything, helping a lot with that.
Okay.
And like he can grow up with that. And I think that's the thing. I think my job is helping a lot of people.
Right.
That's what I feel comfortable, helping. And helping meaning that I come in here to bring people, and I go to the other place and bring people, and everybody's making money and having fun. That's what it is.
You know, that is a great point that a lot of people overlook, is that we helping people. And I got to tell you, Tony, we could not do what we do without the help of our partners. With Fire Decks, Fire Hooks Unlimited, Matex Hose, Rock Rooster Boots, Firehouse Innovations, First in Leather. We couldn't do what we do, training firemen all over the United States, putting up videos and so on and so forth. We couldn't do it without them. And, people, as we look at society, it's people are inherently good, I think. I don't think people are inherently bad. I think there are bad actors, but I don't think that the people are bad in general. And it is hard to decipher good from bad anymore. It's very hard to decipher.
Well, when you come from where I come from,
Yeah.
You realize life is the most important. The spiritual part that will make you rich. The emotional part. That's really make you rich. Rich is not about money. The money come and go. And the money is to really be a life like we live in now, stable, and they spend $10 or $20 on a cigar. We can do it. Not a lot of people can do it. I was a humble when I come from Cuba. So I was a humble for 6 months, so I know what the street is here too. But I was happy because I say I'm the happiest humble in the world. I'm in the free country. So the only thing when I work and I'm asking people, I want to work for you, but I work for food. I never ask you for money. So I say, this is a temporary process that I come from Cuba. And I know I'm going to make it here because I'm happy now. But it take a time because, I come from a different country to another one where you don't speak the language. And it's very difficult to start it. So I know what's a process. I understand that part.
Right.
So for me, it was no big deal. So I never forgot that I come from, and I help people with that because I help a lot of people homeless now.
Well, and that's, giving back is something
that's the best way, brother.
It is. It's almost like paying it forward. I know that's like a big thing now, is to say that you're paying it forward, but to really just do the right thing and help somebody. You don't have to be a millionaire to do something. You can do something small to help somebody in their time of need. At least that's how I see it. it's definitely an amazing.
And do it without interest in nothing. I mean, you can see people successful and you connected and they make a lot of money and you don't make money.
Right.
You know, and people criticize me for that. I say, man, you make a connection with this and that and you don't make money. Put it this way, I'm gonna make a little story and you're gonna see what I'm telling you now. I put a Perdomo cigars in Spain. When Perdomo was for me, or it is, one of the best friend that I have. And he's very successful. You know Perdomo cigars.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he's a very successful. And when I met Ramon Zapata, he's the owner of La Casa de Tabaco, ¿verdad? He come to Miami and he called Padilla, and Padilla was busy, and he called me, say, could you call Padilla? I don't know where it is. He said, what you need? Padilla was busy, he cannot take care of you. So he's like, I deal with you. So he said, no. We say, well, listen, Padilla cannot help you. Tell me what you need. You want to take you someplace? And that's the guy I made the guy. So when I went to go with the guy who's different cigar lounge, everybody take a picture with the guy. I don't even know who the guy was.
Right.
You know, I don't even know who the guy was, a big shot, right?
Right.
But for me, it was like a regular guy, like you, like me. I don't care.
Right.
So after that, he told me, no, I tried to open I want Perdomo in Spain because he want to break the ice with the Cuban cigar in Spain. So they started with Oliva. He want to bring premium cigar to Spain. So break the ice. You know, the cigar in Cuban cigar is very expensive in Spain. So, and all over anyway. So I made that connection. I introduced Perdomo. And I made the deal. I closed the deal. I went to Spain to represent Perdomo. So I make a slogan they call Perdomo Time. So that was hit. Perdomo Time, Perdomo Time. So everybody smoke Perdomo now in Spain. They call Perdomo Time. That was the idea that I come out with a slogan, and it was good. I don't even was in the cigar business that time. So when I went to Spain, they treat me so good and allow people to tell me, hey, you made that connection. These people want to make money and you don't make money. Say, listen, I prefer the friendship from Zapata, from my friend, because when you go over there, they treat me like, you know, they pick me up, they go all over. So they give me 3,000, 4,000, 10,000. After that was a business.
Yeah.
This
Right.
guy's my friend today without interest in nothing. He's my really friend, and that's what I like. And Perdomo's still my friend. Never money behind nothing for me, but they making money. But for me, there was unhappy they make it.
Right. They're making it.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's what my happiness was. You pay me with that, with the happiness to see two good friends making a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, you know, you talked about everybody wanting to shake his hand and talk to him. I was at an event last time I was in Miami. We were over at Empire, and they had an event with La Aurora, and Manuel Iona, who was the master roller for La Aurora, was in there, and everybody was shaking his hand, and he was, you know, talking to everybody, and I'm like, who's this guy, right? And I entered a raffle, and I won a box of cigars, and so I was like, oh, cool. And I found out that he's the man. And, you know, since then, just like me and you, he's, you know, become a friend. And, you know, he's invited me down to the factory. He's, you know, come down anytime. You know, my house is your house. And, you know, I say, if you ever want to come to North Carolina, I don't know why you'd want to. But
You know, he's a great guy. I met him here with Miranda. You know, Miranda represented La Aurora.
Yes.
And Miranda is the owner of the Tatiana with the flavor cigar. He's a very nice friend. And the beauty is that I know all these people because in the clothing business, I sell clothing to everybody in Miami. So I know the Padron, I know the father, I know Nick Perdomo, the father before, later Nick. So I sell clothing to everybody. By the way, if you see somebody who dressed really cool, it's Perdomo, brother. He's the best dresser in the market. It's Nick Perdomo. You always see a nice dress up there. Yeah. I'm the guy. I'm very proud to teach him to dress, and he has all the money to buy everything now. But before, when the beginning, I'm the guy who was behind Perdomo all the time.
Well, the Perdomo family is very, I mean, talking to Nick.
This is my family, brother.
He would just sit right here and just sit down and talk to you, and you would have no idea who you're talking to.
No, Perdomo is a great guy. He's a very successful, very smart.
Very.
I like it because he's a real American. You know, he's very proud, very patriot, and I love it. For me, it's a very good. And he treat me like friend. I mean, it's nothing like if you have this or you don't have that. I mean, I don't like people treat me because you have this or you have that. I like to sit with everybody.
Yeah. No, that's a good point to just be able to sit down, and that's the beauty of cigars. A lot of people don't realize that, you know, it is a very social activity to sit down and just chat. I mean, we're watching people in here, and, you know, people watching. You know, you got guys just sitting here talking about nothing and everything, and people coming in and out buying cigars and, you know, having conversations. They're looking at us wondering what the hell we're talking about, which is
I've seen several people just walk up Straight stop, stare at us.
Yeah. Did you wave?
Oh, a couple times. Waved them in.
Yeah. This is. I got to tell you, the
You
culture.
like the plate we picked for this?
Oh, this is beautiful.
This is a new concept. That's what I'm telling you. This is an old warehouse, very unusual to make a cigar lounge because most everybody looking for a nice place, located, whatever. This guy make it in a warehouse, amazing, look like a hotel in the patio of the hotel.
Right, and there's cool stuff hanging on the wall. There's a helicopter door. There's, Mercedes-Benz stuff. There's
Everybody give you every little piece to make it this store.
yeah. This is
The
but
furniture, I gotta give you a chair. It's like that.
it's a community,
Yeah.
and that's what a lot of people don't realize is that community is what we really need. And I think that's one thing that as firemen we struggle with together is that we are the edge of we're on the edge of society crumbling. It feels like at times. When
It does.
people call us when their hot water heater goes out and want it relit, and all sorts of crazy stuff. But I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't have it any other way. I definitely wouldn't. The next step for you is on the horizon. You're gonna do another round of cigars this year. Something
I changed
special.
the whole line from Dominican Republic.
Okay.
I already have the blend and everything.
Okay.
I'm doing a box. Robusto going to be now box press.
Okay.
The mini definitely going to stay. And so I'm going to have the Toro from Nicaragua, Robusto from Dominica, and mini smoke from Dominica.
You say the mini stays, but it does not stay in stock.
Never. But that happened most of the time in this time of year. Because actually, December, I give it what people need and I don't work. So now I'm relaxing really. I don't have cigar. Almost everything I sold out.
Sure.
So I like to be like a beach shack now. I'm a back order. So probably like in March I have everything already from Dominican Republic.
And that's fair. I mean, it's just I like to give you a hard time.
The problem with the mini is it's something that we did for us. And when I presented to the cigar lounge, everybody taking I never think that cigar sells so much, So I always make more and more and more, and never enough.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a lot of now coming. And before I have it, remember, I have the Connecticut Habano on my mini. I don't do Connecticut no more. I stay with the Habano and the Maduro, that was the best to sell for.
Oh, the Maduro is.
Yeah.
It's something.
Well, that mini smoke in Chile turned to be the best sell. Number one sell of Cuba in Chile.
Really?
That's the reason I don't have so much.
Wow.
In Chile, they sell a lot of mini smoke. In Chile, they have one problem. They don't have cigar lounge like in Miami or United States. So they only can smoke outside. So people smoke the mini smokes, outside. They don't want a long vitola or whatever it is. So they do a smoke. They smoke very little. So the mini is very good. Turned to be a revelation of the year of Cuba and Chile.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Affect and change through cigars. That's pretty neat.
Who can think it, right?
Yeah.
A little cigar like this.
Who would have thought a guy from Cuba?
I never think it like that.
Wow.
Even my partner, I smoke my cigars. He only smoke the mini. I say, he smoke any kind of cigar. We say, you don't smoke your own cigar. He say, no, I smoke a lot of mini. He like the mini.
I love them. It's just easier to deal with. What for someone that is listening to this that maybe sparked an interest in smoking cigars, what advice can you give somebody as an established person in the business? What advice can you give to the new smoker?
The advice for the new smoker: first, try everything. That's the only way you're going to find out what you like. Second one, hanging out with a lot of cigar lounge so you meet a lot of people. Because actually all this is about relation. This is a lifestyle. So you really go, you're going to enjoy a cigar, you're going to meet a lot of people, and the cigar going to be a complement of that, and to be happy.
Right.
That's it. That's the only thing I can tell you about it. And I have a lot of concern about cigar lounge. That's the biggest problem. Is not about make cigar. It's about cigar lounge. When they don't know who you are, it's very hard to put the cigar in the cigar lounge.
And there's a lot of choices when you walk into
because
a
a lot
humidor.
of choices, a lot of good cigar outside. So it's hard to you, like me. Nobody know me. Now they know me, but in Miami,
Yeah.
I got at Palm Beach, I got all over, and most of the people smoking in Atlanta, all that because they buy online, and get to the black smoke they do in Cuban crosses. So I hang in with all those guys. You talk about thousands of people coming and the black smoke in my event they do in Miami, and I go to those events, and the people from Atlanta, most of their old business they have a cigar lounge. So that's how I met it. So that's how they buy my cigar. But I know because I went there and traveled and showed my cigar. Only they try the cigar here, they like it, and they order.
Right.
So that's how I make a larger, this business. But it's really hard because when you go, they don't have a space. Most of the cigar lounge, they prefer to have the brand name everybody know.
Yeah.
So they give you the opportunity. So for me, it's harder than a lot of people. I'm not going to pay $10,000 for a magazine. I don't have the money to do it.
Well, no. Why?
So if somebody want to take my cigar and give me a rating, I really appreciate it. But I don't have the money to do it. And I think in my cigar competed with every cigar because, the cigar is good.
Yeah.
And I believe it I'm doing good. I know what I'm doing. Because I'm smoking since 18 years old, so I smoke every cigar. So I know my cigar competed. And I got a guy the other day, he was smoking Plasencia, and he loved Plasencia. And he smoked my Habano. And he said, man, this cigar and the Plasencia is almost, the same thing in the Habano from that. So I make cigar competing with a good company, with a big people that know how to make cigars. So that's why people, I think the cigar, that's a reason that probably the cigar hits. That's how people like it. I make a cigar equal to anyone.
Yeah,
without people know who I am.
I think if you were to take the label off of cigars, and if they were the same gauge and the same style of cigar, I don't think most people could tell the difference.
No,
unless they
not.
really smoke a lot.
I got a guy in Orlando who smokes Cuban cigars only. The only cigar he don't smoke Cuban cigar is my cigar Havana.
Really?
He buy Mini, he buy the Habano, he buy all my cigars in Habano, and he only smoke Cuban cigars. So you look at that, it's unbelievable. You find things like that. And the guy say, oh, you're not going to change it. The guy only smoke Cuban cigars. So he only love my cigar Habanos.
Well, and a lot of misconceptions about smoking cigars that it has to be expensive. You can go get a Tupperware container as long as it's sealed and have a Tupper door and put you a Bovita pack in there and keep your cigars fresh. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars.
No.
I hope my wife doesn't listen to this like I have. They're trying to talk me into a big old humidor down there at Cuban Crafters today. It's 50% off. We'll give you 30% off this really big one. And it's tempting, right? But
it was beautiful, though.
There's thousands.
I think the cigar should be, so many good cigars from $10 to $15. That's enough.
Right.
You don't need to go. If you have the money and you want to do it and spend 20, 30, 40 deals, I believe yes. You have the money, do it. But at the end, it's a lot of cigars from $10 to $15, unbelievable. So you don't really spend a lot of money. You don't need to spend a lot of money.
And we're not talking.
My Mini for $750 is a great deal, anyway.
We're not talking about Black and Mild or Swisher Sweets either. We're talking.
No.
We're talking real cigars, no wood tops or backwoods.
No, good cigar. We talk about good cigar.
What's wrong with backwoods?
They bring me a lot of cigar samples to try.
Sure.
And my wife said, you're smoking like 5 cigars already? Because she see me taking from the humidor. I say, no, that's the 5 cigars I throw it out.
I throw it out.
People, they give me cigars to try what you're thinking. I don't want to tell them what I'm thinking. But,
yeah.
no good.
Yeah, it's something you acquire your own palate, your own taste.
Yeah.
And, we walked into the humidor here right before you got here, and Enrique was talking us through some of these cigars. He's like, if you had this, that was the My Father cigar of the year. And I'm like, yeah, I've had it. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't overly impressed, but it's just not for me. My buddy Mario gave it to me.
The 80% or 90 maybe is the marketing. This is a marketing business.
And you pay for that.
So you pay for that. I'm scared of those rating things because the day they told me that you got one cigar 90 something, you better have a lot of cigar in stock to make it right away because I don't have problem with the factory. The factory have a lot of cigars. The thing is, you have to have the money to invest it and to do it. And it's really a danger for me that I'm not thinking to be that big guy. You know? I try to make it the right cigar, the right. Every time I bring it, I know people is very consistent in the cigar. It's the same cigar that you smoked it before.
Yes.
So it's very important. It's not only make cigars to make cigars, because you can make a lot of cigars. But if you bring a lot of cigars and later change it, what you did, I want to bring exactly what I want, and that's what I do. Easy people wait for me, they can wait.
I remember my grandfather told me years ago, do you know what makes a true Cuban cigar taste so good?
What's that?
It's the sweat from the ladies' thighs when they roll it.
God bless them. Every one of them.
That's what he told me years ago. He always used to get on to me for, being a young man and tugging on a cigar. But I saw the older guys doing it at the firehouse, and I was like, God, I want to be like them. So I found out that, we used to have a thing called ramping. And what we would do is we would pull out the chairs and we would sit out in front of the firehouse and wave to the traffic as it went by, or the people in the neighborhood, or fix a kid's bike or whatever. And as people would come by, you'd have that cigar, and there was always firemen there, and they always had a cigar. And I wanted to be a part of that culture. So for me, that was a big part of me growing up. And I think that's what has defined me as an adult, is that little bit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I really do.
I mean, we've spent a lot of time in West Virginia on the ramp. It could be 15 degrees outside, and we're sitting out front with the doors closed having a cigar. And
They asked me the other day a question. I'm sorry to.
Oh, no.
Because I have it in my head now. They asked me, they say, what happened if they take the embargo and bring a lot of Cuban cigars? I'm telling people, listen, Cubans still make good cigars, but the people, they're smoking already so many good cigars here. The palate is different. And maybe, yes, for fun or whatever, they want to interest, for curiosity, they want to try it. I'm going to be hit,
Right.
Whatever. But at the end, when they tell you $70 for a cigar and $50, $80, it's over. Because Cuban make good cigars, but I don't smoke Cuban cigar anyway. I want it, by the way. It's for principle. It's not because I don't like it. It's for principles,
Because communism sucks.
It's about that. I don't do it. So, but I don't care who people smoke the cigars. Sometimes most of the 90% is all fake.
Yeah, that's the hard thing.
Unfortunately, yes.
People don't realize real from. And if you've had a real.
I prefer that you bring me a Cuban cigar and they say, I bring it from Cuban, a cigar, and no, but don't tell me it's a Vejique or Jivique or whatever bullshit is, or Cohiba. And don't tell me the name, because in Cuban, if you bring cigar from Cuba, the cigar is good. The thing is, don't put a label and tell me it's a Cohiba when it's not Cohiba. That's a fake.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
And it's so hard to. People, like Cohiba, they want to. I'll be honest with you. Like today, I saw an ashtray that I wanted, and it had the Cohiba logo, and I wanted it, because I like that logo, and it's iconic, right? But if people sit back and do their research on it, it's not really.
No, they're all made in China.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything in China, you can do anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. So,
it's all marketing for them.
Yeah, you're not getting the authentic deal.
The China has to control the Cuban cigar by probably the 80%.
Really?
And
That much?
And in Europe now, my friend from Spain, they told me they raised the 400% of the cigar from Cuba in Spain.
That's crazy.
400%. You believe that shit?
Wow. 400%. I know that a lot of our tobacco in North Carolina is bought for China. What happens with it, I don't know, because I'm not a tobacco farmer. But the tobacco that's grown, it's not even truly primed anymore by hand. It's all done by machine, which is more efficient. But everything, your first pickings and then, all the way up when you prime it, is just thrown into a bundle and cured bulk and then chopped up and made into cigarettes. Nothing that we have around us is made into cigars. Unless it's somebody privately
Let me explain
growing.
what happened. We live in Miami, so this is the Cuban town, right?
Yeah.
So when you go, I have a cigar lounge in Calle Ocho. There's a lot of tours over there, and I've been there. And in Ad District Cigar, you probably know Ad District Cigar, the little town right there in the Calle Ocho 17.
Yes.
All right. I see a lot of tours in the United States coming and say, "Oh, I want to have a Cuban cigar." They don't even know it's illegal.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the reason is, you believe it, if you bring any cigar from Cuba and sell them from Florida outside, the people, they don't know what's going on with Cuba.
That's right. They don't have a clue.
So you're paying for something you don't even know what's going on. So
Right.
we have to explain this illegal and the reason why it's illegal. And later, at the end, they tell you want to have a good, so I give you any Dominican cigar from there, and they love it.
I got to tell you something funny. I did something over the holidays. There was a TikTok of, I've got a couple Cohiba lighters, and there was a TikTok about Cohiba lighters, and that I'll show it to you when we're done. But the guy says, this lighter's illegal, yada, yada, yada. That's how he started the TikTok. And I was like, oh, it's illegal. All right, you have my attention. Good marketing. And, you can have this one for $29. And I was like, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy that Cohiba lighter. So I bought one. And that sumbitch come from China.
They're all for China.
It came from China. And I laughed my ass off because, back under previous management at Cuban Crafters, you could get anything you wanted. I mean, legit. I mean, you could get whatever the fuck you wanted from Cuba, and that was just the end of it. And I got a couple Cohiba lighters, and I paid for them, but I mean, they're the real deal. And then this piece of shit from China shows up and doesn't even hold, you're sitting here cranking on the sumbitch, it doesn't light.
Well, they do with the clothing too.
Yeah.
All those, they copying the label with the Ferragamo, with the bells. Everything comes from China now.
It's
Everything.
just
Put it
disappointing.
this way. If you go Cuban now, right, and you buy a cigar for $500 a box, you going to give it to everybody, your friends? You don't give it.
No.
So that's the reason.
I
I got a guy from Canada, a friend of mine. He bring me a cigar. He's smoking Cuba from Canada. He buy Cuban cigar. He said that. So he bring me the label. He say, Cohiba, whatever. I mean, you can tell it's not real, but I don't tell him. He said, I appreciate it. He bring it to me. He smoke my cigar anyway.
Right.
So don't make any difference. So he buy boxes of mine. So I tell him, how much you pay for the cigar? He said, $10. I say, it's not real. $10 is not cost $10 a Cuban cigar. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know how. I had to tell him. I say, how are you going to know? How you pay $10 when you know $10 is not real?
And no answer.
No answer.
Yeah.
But I let him thinking. He said, don't buy that shit no more, man. He buy my cigar anyway, so I don't want to be too tough with him. But the real is...
you don't want him wasting his money
let
either.
me tell you, I'm very generous, but I'm telling you, if I go to Cuba and I spend $500 for a box, and I give it to you, I don't give it to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I'm very much like you.
Nobody's so generous like that, you know?
Well, I'm very much like you. If you're gonna, we've been friends for a number of years. I bought my first cigar with you in the humidor at Cuban Crafters. I bought it, and today was the first time that you've ever given me a cigar.
That's right. And I'm going to tell you why. Not because I don't want to give you cigar. Plus, I don't bring cigar without boxes. I have to
Right.
open it.
Right.
So that's a sale that I'm missing. So, but the thing is, I did it with this purpose. My friends, they're all with me. They're always buying my cigar. I tell you why. When they send me pictures, all those pictures you see, that's the only way I know that people bought the cigar, because I don't give you cigars.
That's right. Yeah,
So you send me a picture, meaning you bought a cigar.
yeah.
Perfect marketing campaign right there.
Perfect. I mean, he does not get, and I don't. I
And
don't
if you
fault
my
him.
friend, I put it that way. If you're really my friend, you know this is a business. So
That's right. And I'm not-
You support your friends, and
You
that's
bring
how
your
you do
brand.
it.
That's
by
what it is.
purchasing
All my
things
friends
from
is
them.
buying the cigar.
That's right. And that's what a lot of people, we get hit up for teaching firemen. I probably get hit up 4 or 5 times a quarter for a free class. And it's not cheap to bring guys in, to bring the equipment in, to
Man,
teach.
that costs money, everything. Bring
Yeah.
it, pay the taxes. Listen, Perdomo was my friend. I never paid for Perdomo cigar. And one day I tell Nick, man, at least give me wholesale price. I mean, because I'm very embarrassed that you give me a cigar all the time.
Right.
So I decide buy, and I buy wholesale price. So that's fair enough or no?
Yeah. Well, and that's the problem is people want to get something for nothing. I think that's the
And everybody tell you it's wonderful.
Yeah.
When it's free, it's wonderful.
yeah. When they have to pay for it, it's like, oh well, I don't know if I really want that. And I think to me, it's a principle thing because I don't give ours away. I mean, I do as a marketing deal, but I keep track of it. Because it's pennies on the dollar for me. But I look at it as a different aspect that I'm not in the cigar business. We're in the education and getting firemen together and thinking alike, and for us, I think that works. We've had a lot of success with that. And the one thing that people don't realize is that everything costs somebody something. And, it's not cheap to get 5-6 guys together for a weekend.
No.
It's and travel up and down the road, the gas tank doesn't run on thanks. And
The limited edition that I make it with, you have to buy the whole box.
Yeah.
I don't even keep it for mine. I don't have it. So Max told me I have it in home in Chile. He bring me from Chile the cigar. I have it now because he bring me a box. He said I never had the chance to have the cigar.
That's
He
wild.
bring it to me a box to enjoy the cigar.
I wanted to buy a box and I was too late.
Yeah.
I literally found
I went to
out.
cigar shop who has it. And he has it brand new. He said I buy it for you. You don't want to sell it to me.
I mean, I really.
The guy, you don't want to sell it to me. Tell him, I buy it, I give it to me. I switch it for a couple boxes from whatever. He said, no, I want it. So I don't even have the chance to buy my own cigar in the cigar lounge.
My damn name's on the cigar and I can't even get it.
It's a lot of
It's
beautiful
terrible,
things.
but it's great.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
And
I mean, listen, if somebody, I give you price. I have it as a retail license. I can sell you a cigar. I have to charge you the taxes, definitely.
yes.
But I give you price. But when the people come to me to buy a cigar directly to me, I say, man, go to the cigar lounge. and buy from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can make more money that way because as I sell you for $150, I mean, at least I make some money. But I'm not into this because
That's-
I don't know. I know this for make money. I do this for people having enjoying and helping the cigar lounge.
That's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. That a lot of newer folks that are not, they're new to this world of smoking cigars and cigar lounges and proper etiquette is that, when you show up, to a lounge, you may have a smoking fee of $10 or whatever, but you should always go in and buy a stick or two.
I do that.
Yeah, I mean, you.
I have my own cigar. When I go, I buy cigars.
Yeah.
I went to the opening yesterday. They had my cigars.
Yeah.
And I bought 4 cigars. This is a grand opening. You have to buy cigars.
Yeah, that's how.
I don't come in with my own cigars.
No, that's how you're supposed to, I've explained that to numerous people that, when you go, spend some money. It's a great place to sit, but they're making their money.
Yeah, I think it's terrible that you come into a cigar lounge and bring a cigar from outside and smoke it. These people have to pay the air conditioner, the service, the ostrich, they clean it up, and giving coffee. You have to spend the money. So at least you buy a cigar and they don't mind.
Well, I'll tell you right here at Casa Humo, we sat down. The table had just a little bit of dust on it. And the table, he refused to let us sit down until it was wiped.
No, I'm telling him that you come and make this reservation for you at the end.
Yeah.
I don't even know you was here with all this. I think you come in with a tripod, that you put a phone and talking and all that. But you make a hell of a job here, brother. I'm
Well,
really proud.
the thing is, like when you sit down and how they serve your water and how they serve your drink and, that stuff, it matters.
Sure matter. These
The
people are
details
great.
matter. And that's what makes this place great is it's a wonderful atmosphere. There's probably been 20, 30 people in and out. And, we're looking at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll start to pick up here in about the next half hour with people getting off of work. But the ability to be able to get together in a community and sit down and talk to somebody over a cigar.
Casa Humo is a great. Let me tell you, they come in here. Most of the people with his own laptop, and their lunchtime, they have a great pizza, panini, whatever you want. They make food here, so they give you whatever you want, and you feel home. You're working from home here.
Yeah, that's
This is a great place. They come in with a laptop, they go separate, they start working. You want something to eat? We have it here, a lot of them. And not a lot of cigar lounge, they have foods and all that. These people, they do that.
yeah, they're doing it right.
They're doing great. The pizza. Venezuelan, they love food, so they're great. They're good cooking. Juan is a great chef, so he's really make you happy. Everybody here is like home.
Do you want to pick?
The big no.
Okay.
I get used already to burn my nails.
Well,
No, but we're gonna smoke another cigar later.
I got a mustache. I got to watch that thing. I
You
can't.
better watch it. Yeah.
I can't afford to lose it.
My wife bought me one dog because she see me like this. She said, "Why you don't throw it out with so many cigars you have?" He said, "This is the best part.
Once you get down to that part,
This is the best part."
That is the
I'm
best
gonna tell you a
part.
secret. I have to sleep with my Maduro. I go a lot of the cigar lounge, but at the end, if I don't smoke my Maduro at the end, I don't sleep. So I have to go home if I don't smoke my Maduro. And in the patio, I smoke my Maduro and I sleep. I love my cigar. The last cigar of the day is my Maduro cigar.
How many cigars a day do you smoke on
Not
average?
too much, maybe 4 or 5. That's the reason I went back to the clothing business because right there I only smoke one a day.
Are you-
After I leave at 6, so we smoke. Over there in the cigar place, we give you a drink. For free.
Right.
So we have a scotch, a bourbon, whatever you want. So I sit with the owner. We have a tables outside in the shop, and we're smoking, and that's beautiful. So I smoke one cigar, I go home.
Yeah. He says 4 or 5, like it's no problem.
Yeah.
You smoke less than that?
Sometimes I've been known to smoke 5 or 6 when I get, I go to my lounge at the house, and I'll sit down and I'll.
Sundays I probably have like 6.
Yeah.
I smoke all day.
Yeah. I enjoy old Western movies. So I'll put on old Westerns like Lonesome Dove or the Hatfields and McCoys, and I'll watch that.
I'm more romantic, brother.
Yeah. I love old Americana, right? And speaking of old Americana, coming into America from Cuba, Fidel's got the museum that he's going to put above his shop.
You do a great job.
There's old
Fidel
classic
is very
cars.
talented, let me tell you. I know Fidel for many years. We do a lot of business with clothing together. I just did a business with him now. He's going to go Thursday to pick up whatever he bought. He want to buy the Cuervo y Sobrino, he told you, right?
Yeah.
He want to buy. He sent me the picture already. We're going to get one for him. He's a great guy. He's a very fast, very talented. He has, before the pandemic, he has in the airport a
Yeah.
clothing store, and he sell my cigar over there.
Yeah.
Only he sell for $15. So
Well,
$15 to $10.
Well, it's a convenience fee at the airport.
Yeah, or you buy or you don't buy, or you take the plane without cigars. How
Yeah.
you like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Oh, I came to Miami. Didn't
So
get a cigar.
that place is closed for me now. So, but it was a good deal in the airport.
Yeah, we're gonna get him on. He asked us to next time we're down in the fall. He wants to sit down with us up there in the museum after
You
hours.
love cars, antique cards.
Yeah, he's got a
antiques.
DeSoto out there.
Yeah, you see what he did. You see the boulevard he make it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the what's it called, Rooster Alley?
You
or-
see all the pictures of the cigar. And
Yeah,
the
it's
art.
beautiful.
He told me, "Call me, Tony. I have a space for you, so I have my picture right there." He said,
We're
"Well, I don't have a
saw it.
star, but I at least have a boulevard."
No, it's beautiful. It's there were probably 40 people just in the time that we were there.
Come back, took some pictures of the car. There's one big chicken back there, huge breast on it.
One big
He has a
chicken.
great business. He has a great.
Well, he does a great job, and I haven't seen him in probably 6-7 months. And as soon as we walked in the door, he got off the phone, came up, gave me a big hug. You know, that's the culture that is fun. You know, when
Well, Latin people like that.
yeah, people caring about people. It's not a bad thing to do
No.
at all. Well, Tony, we always end this thing up with some words of wisdom. So I want you to think of something, words of wisdom to talk about. Matt, you haven't really said much today, buddy.
I've just been taking it all in, enjoying my mini.
I want
Yeah.
to tell you a couple things to be
The
a better
atmosphere.
person. I want to recommend the book they call The Four Agreements. I don't know if you hear about it.
Okay, tell us about it.
Buying Amazon. This is a great way to live in and make you a better person. And gonna give you a lot of therapy to your face. I mean to your brain, and you're gonna see the different life a little different after that. So one book that I recommended, The Four Agreement. The second one is to have passion for everything you do. You're gonna be good as long as you put a lot of passion to this. If you're thinking to do something about money, I think it's great. I mean, I don't think it has a lot of. I think it has a lot of stress because you're thinking it's like you want to win the lottery and you play. You play the lottery because when I had a chance. I mean, if I see some place and it's a lot of million there, I put $1. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's thinking about I need to be rich. And I mean, kind of stuff like I don't think you're gonna make it. The best way to be rich is to be passionate for everything that you do, and everything gonna come out great.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being passionate.
Passion is everything, brother. For women, for everything. I love it.
I think that's one mistake that people make about the Cuban culture is that is that it's loud.
Mira, look
Thank
at
you.
this.
And
Juan is the other owner of the Casa Humo. I really appreciate what he did for us.
Thank you.
He just brings something to drink. And why we don't do this? Bring a. You want a mini again? Or we're gonna have the other. We're gonna be long. Bring a Toro for us. Would you like Habano, Maduro, what?
Either or.
We're placing cigar
You like
orders
Habano,
right now.
so- You like Habano too? or Maduro? You want the Maduro?
Maduro.
Okay,
I'll tell you what, I'll do
bring me a
Maduro. I
Maduro
just
from
had
Nicaragua, Maduro, whatever.
I haven't been doing I just had a
And
He
this,
wants to
and
kick
this
it.
go for me.
Yeah.
You see, I pay for this.
No, jeez almighty, you're killing me. No, the
Salute.
yeah, salute. You know,
this is
people
great.
taking care of
Yeah, it's
people.
good.
You know, across the table. Yeah, we got it there.
In case they don't see what we did is a chair.
We got a shot of something. I don't know, and
It's delicious.
It's dangerous.
all right, it's dangerous.
No, it's
Who
good
you-
with the cigar. You're gonna see how good
Yeah.
it is.
Well, Matt, what do you got for some words of wisdom to wrap this thing up?
I don't know. I really think Tony hit the nail on the head with passion for everything you do. No matter if it's your job, if you're cutting grass, fireman, officer, bartender, you have passion for it, you're never going to work a day in your life because you enjoy it. And that's as far as it can go. In the end, you can't take the money with you, but you can take those memories and that love for everything you've done with you.
I think that's the part of a legacy,
Yeah.
Legacy is that, brother.
and I think
when you do everything with passion, you don't feel like you're working.
no,
No.
There's a guy I met one time. His name's Art Reed. He's got farm equipment, just old equipment, stretched up and down the road. And I stopped one day to look, just to be curious. And he comes out on a golf cart. You want a tour? And I'm like, all right. So we start going around to all these old barns. He showed me all these old tractors restored. And he just looked at me and said, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. He said, I guess I'll just have one hell of a legacy and an estate sale when I'm dead.
wow.
And that was it. And he just sit there and collect dust now. He won't sell them.
When I start this with a cigar, I come in my house. I have to open a lot of account, and I want to know the people from every cigar lounge, because everybody's different. You know, the crowd here is different than over there. Here's a lot of Venezuelan coming, so I want to meet everybody. You know, so my wife, I come in sometime at 1, at 12 o'clock. I say, I tell my wife, we're going to do this. Call me at 10 o'clock. So you give me a hint because it's no, for me, it can be the whole day at night and to tomorrow. So the only way I can stop it is she called me and give me, say, 10 o'clock already. So like that, I get idea. You know, another half an hour I leave in. Because sometimes I don't even know there was 10 o'clock. And I had so much fun with people and a lot of passion, smoking cigar and talk about everything and politics and everything. I really never know what time was. So
Yeah, and a cigar lounge is a dangerous place when the doors are shut.
Yeah.
Because you do lose all perception.
If you
of
come to
time.
Miami, come Casa Humo. They do Wednesdays like a jazz. Fridays like a ladies' night. I mean, they do a lot of events here, very good, and they're gonna treat you great. I mean, Juan, you see what they do now for
Yeah.
us. They're really great people.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with the atmosphere, the service here. Just the atmosphere alone warrants sitting down, but then the service makes you stay for sure. Well, I got to tell you, I don't really have any words of wisdom because you guys have hit the fucking nail on the head. I am very happy that we have been able to sit down. This has been about 6 months in the works with Tony. He's a very busy man. Lastly, I want to wrap up by thanking Seek Thermal Imagers, Crestar Firefighting Equipment, Old Pappy's Tool Lube, Thompson Multimedia, Akron Brass, and Sterling for our bailout and rope equipment. We announced that we do have the official tools now of Box 1971, which is Milwaukee Tools, and that's a huge, huge blessing to us and those that we train with. But as we close this out from Doral, Florida, Tony, thank you so much for the years of
Thank you for
friendship.
inviting me.
Yeah, I'm so happy to sit down with you. I know that Matt was excited just to sit down with you. To sit down with a cigar boss such as yourself is it's pretty cool. I mean, to be able to call you my friend is even better. So,
I know.
thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for everybody, all the people that are going to listen to what we did today.
Yeah.
And if they want to buy a cigar, FDF cigar, so you have the connections. You can do with Santo online, or you can do Cuban Craft. Most of the people they do online, they do in different cigar lounge. They do online. So I recommend that, I advertising sometimes different places. So.
And if you want FDS cigars in your local lounge, you need to talk to the local manager and have them get in touch and have them, get the.
Or they can call me and I give you the direction for where we have to go.
Yeah, that's the best way to go. But well, listen, to wrap this up, remember to train hard, be safe. We're all they have.